Out-state lawmaker claims GOP lied about being pro-LGBTQ. Log cabin Republicans, are you listening? In a story that proves that LGBTQ plus people can be as gullible as anyone else, openly queer former New Hampshire state rep Yvonne Bailey recently wrote a column for the Daily Beast about how she felt lied to by the GOP when they claimed to be LGBTQ plus accepting. The former lawmaker, who states that she knew she was a Republican before she was queer, chose the party because she identifies as a natural contrarian. She highlights former President Trump's holding up of a rainbow flag, openly gave Peter Thiel's speech at the 2016 Republican convention, and the popularity of LGBTQ plus commentators such as Caitlyn Jenner, Tammy Bruce, and Rob Smith as proof that the GOP was accepting of the LGBTQ plus community and would not attack gay marriage. From within the conservative bubble, she apparently missed or ignored the Trump administration banning transgender individuals from serving in the military, their support of government-funded adoption agencies being allowed to deny gay parents, and arguments that religious beliefs should allow for discrimination. In the article, she said, quote, "Now, not even 2 years later, the right has started an all-out anti-gay panic that seriously threatens marriage equality. Conservatives are hurling insults at innocent gays online. The majority of House Republicans voted against codifying gay marriage at the federal level. Supporters of marriage equality have been accused by Republican candidates of sexualizing kindergartners and being groomers." End quote. Oh, New Hampshire. Oh, New Hampshire, New England's ugly stepchild. Live free or die. Please choose the latter.
You know, I have to say, I stand with this person because I was shocked to find out the grand old party and Trump has misled people. Yeah. No, seriously, this person says they were strong.
If you're not a good comedian, because when you tell a joke, you pause.
That was a joke. Right? But no, she says in this article, or she says in this quote, that the support for Trump was even stronger in 2020. And this comes after 4 years of supporting discrimination in adopting, banning trans military, prioritizing religious freedom, and their non.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, playing in my head. I don't know why.
Pobrecita. She literally listened to Trump and Caitlyn Jenner, because those are two incredible sources. You can't go wrong there.
And who said Caitlyn Jenner was popular? Seriously.
Wouldn't you like to hear Caitlyn Jenner today, though?
No.
What could she? No, honestly. What could she possibly say today?
Something ignorant
to justify what has been watched in the last night.
And let's put it this way. She says in the last 2 years there's been an all-out war on gays by the Republicans. No, this started in 2004. At a minimum, this can be traced when George Bush said, we need to change our Constitution because you will screw up America if you get married. That was the start of the all-out assault, and it may have ebbed a little bit for a few years, but it's back. So if you were still with them after 2004, then you have not been with us this entire time.
And you know, one should never take New Hampshire for granted.
Everyone.
Oh,
I hate to put it in these terms, but like I think
that was an election joke.
And a mineral joke.
I think about something my grandmother always used to tell me, and it's an expression in Spanish.
Don't eat that.
Dime con quién anda y te diré quién eres. Like, tell me who you are hanging out with, or who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are. That is, like, if you tolerate racism, if you tolerate homophobia, you are also. I mean, what you tolerate is also what you represent, right? And this is to say that you somehow don't know. You knew. Yeah.
They pulled the wool over my eyes. I had no idea they hated the gays.
Yes, right. Exactly. Well, and we were told repeatedly, we've reported on it 10,000 times at Core News Tonight, that Donald Trump was the most gay, embracing president in history. And we laugh now. We go back and watch the statements that were made. I could not help but think when you're telling the story about Peter Thiel, he is the gay billionaire that has funded so many GOP campaigns in the United States. What is he saying now? He is watching an all-out assault on LGBT all over the country. But Peter, aren't you paying attention to what's going on in Florida? Do you think if you were here in Florida and you were in school, you would be exempted? Do you think if you were trans, you would be exempted? Do you think if you're married in Florida that you'll be exempted from a Clarence Thomas? Where are you now in terms of your political support and the millions upon millions of dollars that you have spent to help create this voice in America? By the way, we only have one other, I believe, out billionaire, and her name is Rihanna. Completely different than Peter Thiel, by the way. One other thing. Every conservative that I have been associated with in 4 years at this television network has told me that the Republicans are not anti-LGBT. Over and over and over. The log cabin Republicans, every single one that I've ever encountered, have told me they are not. They are not. Where are you now? I don't hear log cabin Republicans right now talking out loud, mostly because they're in their foxholes fighting for their lives in the GOP. You want to talk about Texas? Last thing, I predict in this subject about the fight among the Republican voice that over the course of the next 2 years, Julio is a much greater expert on this subject than I am in terms of the history. You learn from your history, you pay attention to your history, so we don't repeat the history. I predict over the course of the next 2 years, between now and November in 24, that the Republicans are going to fine-tune this hate campaign so sharply that not since Stonewall in 1969, even over the Anita Bryant days, it will be the greatest assault on the LGBTQ community, not only in our lifetimes, but in history. And I can't help but wonder where all the conservative, Republican, gay, LGBT people are and where they're going to be in the next 2 years. Because you're getting ready to get it on the chin, just like everybody else in our community. And it leads to a friend of mine, Power of Infinity, who taught me this early on at Happening Out Television Network. Al, there are always roaches for raid. And there is.
And for the record, Peter Thiel is a homosexual. He's not gay. There's a difference.
Okay. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.